Right. We are live Saturday. I'm up. I didn't go to bed, guys, until around 2:30 this morning. So I got home last night. Wound up. They're almost on 11:30, almost 12 midnight. Days of Dead Chicago, November of 2025. What a great convention it was. What a fun one it was. As you guys can tell on the posts I put on here, I met 4 people. I got to meet my favorite final girl of all time, head of line camp, Nancy Thompson herself. The Dream Warriors poster, first time ever bringing a 24 by 36 inch poster, biggest poster I've ever brought into a convention so far. I still got my 27 by 40 inch Nightmare 2 poster I want to bring. Hopefully we can get Kim Myers for a convention out here sometime down here. You guys seen a couple pictures. You guys seen I still got some more to upload. I did bump into Tampa Jay. He's another YouTuber. First time meeting him in person. He was actually in town for the convention, and I guess he was going to go to St. Louis after Chicago here. So yeah, I don't know if Tampa Jay is actually going to be there all weekend. He might be. I know he's friends with Ricky Stasinski, who runs 13X Studios, does all the hockey masks and all this other shit that he does, and some great stuff. But I mean, the highlight for me was meeting Headline Camp. Was, like I said, was the number one one. I was so thrilled to see like the Friday 13 cast. We get to see Jerry Wallace. He was one of 4 people that played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 2. Got him to sign it, and we were lucky enough because the volunteer allowed us to be the last person to meet him before he had to go to his Q&A. So we did that. That was a lot of fun. Got to talk to Jerry for just a little bit. Asked him how he's enjoying the convention. He says he's great, and I told him it's great. I'm glad to hear stuff like that from the celebrities and stuff. I got to meet Tim Merkovich, young Jason, and Jason Takes Manhattan. That was a real good experience. Good time talking with him. He spent maybe at least 3 or 4 minutes with us. Me and my brother talking about what he's been doing and stuff like that. Talking about the whole scene with the scene that he was in with the porthole in Lazarus, which is the boat that the kids are on. How that was, pretty much claustrophobic at the time. I mean, it was a tiny space he had to, I guess, be in, and just other great stuff. BC Dupree was another great one. Very quick interaction with him, but really, really awesome stuff there. When you go to these conventions, most of the celebrities they will go ahead and they'll charge for the autograph and selfie now, or you can go ahead and have the autograph, just the autograph, or just a selfie, or the combo, which is the autograph and the selfie together. So I didn't get a selfie with VC. I didn't get a selfie with Tim Merkovich or Marilyn Poucher or Jerry Wallace. But when I met Heather Line Camp, it was $60 and the photo was free, which was awesome. And I really enjoyed it because I wasn't really sure, because when we went in there, it was so disorganized. We did have, I did see John from Nightmare Authentics. He's the dude that carries around the one of the original, supposedly, I'm not trying to knock him off, but supposedly one of the original canoes from the original Friday the 13th from 1980. He has that signed. I thought that's really, really cool. I'm really hoping that it is one of the original ones, because that will be so much of a bummer that if it wasn't. I've never really had an interaction with John from Nightmare Authentics. My first impression on him, I think he's a little bit weird. Just I don't know. It's just me. I mean, I just think he's a little weird. He seems like he's a real nice guy, but like I said, I'm not knocking him off. But I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's different. Even I mean, I'm shy myself, but I've gotten kind of out of that that shell of it, which is great. Experience beating Hell Lion Camp. It was really cool. It was a husband and wife. I heard the guy spent $400 on her. He had like multiple things signed by her, and whether he was a reseller or not, I don't know if he was. But I mean, if you're going there just to meet one celebrity, and that's like someone like Heather Lion Camp and stuff, it's worth getting multiple stuff signed if you have the money to do it. I was going to have my little 8x10 of the original Nightmare on Elm Street poster signed, but I said, better not, because I want to get Jerry Wallace on there on my part 2 poster, which you probably do see in the background back here. Let me switch the camera. It's back there. Well, I mean, you can see the pictures of it, which I made the posts and stuff like that. But just meeting her was really nice. I went and I told her, I says, the best Nightmare on Elm Streets were the ones with you in it. There was one Nightmare on Elm Street that I do like that she was not in, and that was Nightmare on Elm Street 2. So my order, you guys know which Elm Streets I watch. That's 1, 2, 3, and then I jump from Dream Warriors all the way to New Nightmare. Anything in between New Nightmare and Dream Warriors is complete garbage to me. I don't like it. There was actually a family right behind me. They had a couple of young kids. I think a couple of them had been like teens a little bit, and they were saying that the best ones were the ones with her in it. I was going to turn around and say something to them and say, yeah, the ones I watch are the ones with Heather in them. The one I liked without her in it was Freddy's Revenge, which I did pick up the vinyl. I still got to post it up here on my channel here. I did pick up the vinyl of that. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and show you the vinyl. So I'll show you the vinyl here. This is actually the cover of it. It's the same guys that or the same company that where I bought the part 2 cassette tape. So this is it right here. Not really much, but the vinyls are not in here. I do have vinyls are over here. They originally, you can get them in the limited edition colored ones, but they only had them in the black. So that's what they had, and it's the same music. It's just on a regular black vinyl. Now, speaking of this, when I went to go ahead and buy it, the guy threw in this one for free. And it's the soundtrack for the documentary of The Shocking Truth of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I have not opened it yet, but I thought it was really cool that I was given this for free. So really sweet deal right there. Going back with Heather Lion Camp though, real nice person. It's like I said, I told her, I had told her the best Elm Streets were the ones with her in it, and that's the truth. And she thanked me for that. I mean, it's true because after Dream Warriors, it wasn't the same without her until you got the New Nightmare. But if you go on Internet Movie Database, if you go on Wikipedia, which I printed those out, the original film was just supposed to be a standalone film, according to Wikipedia, according, I think, to Wes Craven on there. But you got to watch Wikipedia. People can put stuff in that's not even true. And I kind of could see it. It probably was supposed to be a one and done. Then we get to Dream Warriors, and I think it was mentioned, I think Wes or somebody said that Dream Warriors was going to be the end of it. It was going to just be a trilogy, which to me, that's how I have always treated this franchise as a trilogy. And then you jump from, Dream Warriors to New Nightmare. But yeah, real nice, real friendly. She was. I've heard good things about her. Great experience. I will meet her again at another time because I want to get a part 1 poster. She had a better looking 8x10 Nightmare poster on her table, better than the one I had. So she comes again. I'll probably select that one and have her sign it and stuff, which would be really cool. as for celebrities, uh, it was an overall fun experience. I didn't have any issues at all with anybody. I mean, they did have Lachlan Monroe there. If Heather wasn't there, I would have met him. His autograph was $40. That's pretty good because I know he was at one other convention. I believe Johnny Holder had posted it up. It was like 60 bucks for his autograph at that one convention. I'm like, wow, he went from 60 to 40. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so my main thing is the older things. It's like the Friday 13th, the first four I really love. Marilyn Poucher, who was there, she was Mrs. Voorhees. She was really sweet to meet. I think her daughter was with her. She was the one helping take the money and stuff. Really sweet. I pulled out the poster, my Part 3 poster. Her daughter really liked the way it looked with everybody's signature on there and stuff like that. I think she actually was married to one of the crew members that worked on Part 3, if I remember correctly. I believe it was in the book, Crystal Lake Memories. So you look at that, and anytime there's a Friday 13 guest there, I'm going to get them anyway because everybody's they're getting up there. And we've lost so many from this franchise already who had all passed away. Recently we just lost Laura Park Lincoln. She is the first ever final girl to ever pass away. So, yeah. I never got a chance to meet Brooker or Ted White or any of them. And I said, hey, let's get Jerry Wallace. Let's do this. My brother talked me into doing it because originally I was going to try to meet Lachlan. And he told me, you had to get Jerry Wallace to add more to your Part 2 poster. So the only other person to play Jason now from Part 2 I need to get is Ellen Luttery, the costume designer for Part 2, and she also was the costume designer for Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. So hopefully we get her for March's show. I'm hoping we get Jensen and Scott Reeves and Barbara Bingham for Part 8 as well. So that'd be really, really cool. Because I already got a list already who I'm meeting. So it's going to be Kelly Hugh, Diane Franklin, Josh Pye from Scream 3 for the March show. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed we get Ellen Lutter or Jensen or Scott or Barbara from Part 8. That'd be really, really cool to have them on there. I can't remember which one, if it was VC or Tim. It might have been VC. Yeah, I think it might have been VC when I said that. I said it's about time to get Part 8, some of the Part 8 people at these Chicago core conventions down here, So, he was really cool. I mean, I went up to his table. He looked up at me, said hello to me and stuff like that. That's how I was doing and stuff. And it was a great, great feeling. It was disorganized a little bit, the way they had things going around. So I couldn't figure out where Heather's line was starting at. So we had one of the volunteers that kind of directed us where the line was at, where the line started at, which I thought was really cool. Now, I do have a picture of me and my brother with the selfie with Heather. Jonathan Breck, who played the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, his table was so close to her. So you'll see that I'm like right on the side of Heather, but I'm right in front of her and my brother. That was really like the only way I can actually get in there to get close to Heather and my brother because of Jonathan Breck's table being so close to Heather's table. It was pretty cramped a little bit, but of course the ladies that were ahead of us, they all were like, two of them were right next to Heather, and I think one or two of them were like right in front of them, but they kind of like kneeled down, like the front ones were like kneeling and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool seeing them do a picture like that with her. Trying to think what else did I see? The life-size bust of the Nemesis, which I already posted, that was epic. I believe Scott, I forgot his shop's name. He was there. He's been there the last couple times we went to these conventions, and it's like a life-size bust Nemesis from the original Resident Evil 3 game from the PS1. It looked awesome, man. I mean, I couldn't imagine how much work or how many hours it took to him to actually make that thing and actually paint it and whatnot with what he had to do. I still got some more pictures to upload. I got to upload some pictures of me and Tampa J. Now, I don't know if Tampa J was a little bit starstruck or what, but I think he had just got done filming his rounds inside there. But I met him, and I shot him a message on his Friday the 13th Crystal Lake Tour video to let him know who I was and stuff like that. But yeah, it was interesting because you never know who you're gonna bump into. And yes, I'm still trying to figure out when I do my hand movements. I mean, the camera moves and stuff like that. It's with the motion detector stuff on there. But yeah, I'm going to the March show again. It's going to be awesome. I'm hoping Kelly Hugh does not cancel out on that one because I've been waiting for years to meet her. I'm going to double her autograph, and the reason why, because she was in Friday Part 8. And then I want to get an 8x10 of her as Lady Deathstrike from X-Men 2, X-Men United. That was, really cool to see her in that film taking on Hugh Jackman. Wolverine versus Lady Deathstrike, definitely some really, really cool stuff. Can you imagine if we had Lady Deathstrike and Jason Takes Manhattan? That version of Kelly Hugh, oh man, Jason might be in some trouble. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was cold going up there, but I mean, it was fun. One thing I do have to say though, too, I know a lot of people, there was a lot of people there of all different ages and stuff like that. So we get, right when we were getting ready to meet Jerry Wallace, they volunteer had to cut the line because of him going to his he had to go to his Q&A. The people behind this, a lot of them were like around my age or a little bit older than me. I thought that was really cool as we get people that are into the stuff that go to these things too, that are not just, teens or kids and whatnot. They're actual adults, and most of them are adults, to be honest. But yeah, Face to Ace. I mean, you need to get out to do it. You need to get out to doing some of these conventions if they have them in Pennsylvania. Are you from Pennsylvania? I don't know if I remember you saying that. But it's good stuff. The vendors this year, we had some pretty cool ones. I mean, I got some cool videos here and there. There's one video that could offend some people. It's with Linnell Quigley's character, Trash from Return of the Living Dead. It's a foreign poster of her as her character in the film, but she's they don't show her boobs or anything else, but they just show her taking her jacket is off, like she's like rips it off. I kind of a little bit hesitant to actually post that up. I respect women a lot. I really do. But that was her character. And also, speaking of Linnell Quigley, she missed her flight. They announced that, so she will not be there this whole entire weekend, which kind of sucks for her fans. Now, the only bad thing about, I've always wanted to have a Return of the Living Dead reunion here in Chicago for a convention. We finally get it, but guess what? There's one problem. They have Friday the 13th guest at the same time. So I chose not to meet anybody from Return of the Living Dead. Maybe next time when we don't get any Friday the 13th guests, but we'll have to wait and see. It is what it is. But yeah, I did, like I said, I did say I wasn't gonna buy anything at the vendors. I did. It was the vinyl soundtrack for Nightmare 2. As for figures, I would only make one condition for is Friday the 13th Ultimate NECA figures, which we don't got a Part 8 yet. We don't got a Jason Goes to Hell. We don't got a Jason X Ultimate NECA yet. Hoping we get that because we've never had a Jason Takes Manhattan Ultimate NECA. And I guarantee you, once they do that one, I'm pretty sure they're probably going to sell out because they have never made a figure, an official licensed figure of the Part 8 Jason ever. So, and NECA would be the first one to do it, and I hope they do it because we need one. I love the poster art for it too. So, yeah, I got 4 people watching. Later on tonight, guys, around 7 p.m., we're going to watch Quicksilver. I'll be watching it. You guys won't be able to see anything on the screen because of copyright stuff. But I'll be doing live stream commentary on that. And tomorrow, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I could talk about the I got to go on Bloody Disgusting because I just found out that they're going to be remaking the original Sleepaway Camp, remaking it. So I guess Kenan Thompson of Nickelodeon's All That is he direct? I think he's directing or what? But the script by the writers finished. So it'll be interesting what they do with it. It'll be interesting to see if Felissa Rose is going to be a part of it. And speaking of Felissa Rose, she was there last night. And I got to tell you, that woman is so full of life. I've never met her. I don't know if I'll ever meet her. I mean, I think more so I'd probably be starstruck as how outgoing she is because, she was just bubbly. And, the one thing you will notice about her, though, is that she loves her fans. And you can tell that. My buddy met her one time, and I kind of, some of the outfits that Felissa Rose wears at these conventions, I gotta tell you, man, it's you'll know what I'm talking about if you guys see it, but we'll just keep it rated PG here, but PG-13 here. But I know for men it's gonna be hard not to look, but we'll put it that way. But for someone that's an older woman, man, she looks pretty good for her age. And she's Italian too. She's tan and everything. But I would hate to see what Felissa Rose is like when she gets pissed, man. I'll tell you what right now, because I know Italians have a bad temper, man. Believe me, they do. I experienced one over at one of my older jobs years ago. I used to work for a supply chain company, and that guy was a freaking, maniac, just ignorant and everything else. And it's like, and then, you hear things about people that are from that are Italian descent and how they got a heated temper, but yeah, Felissa, I would hate to see what she's like when she's mad. Just sweet as ever. Again, I've never seen her, but I've seen her in person, up close, walking past her table and stuff, how she interacts with her fans and great stuff. Lachlan Monroe, seeing him, very outgoing guy from what I've seen last night. Really into his fans and stuff like that too. I did get to see the Pancake Kid. If you don't know who the hell the Pancake Kid is, Cabin Fever, the little kid that had the long blonde hair. He was there. Of course, he ain't little no more. He ain't got the blonde hair. He's got the short black hair, and he looked muscular from what I saw. If I remember correctly, if Cabin Fever, the first one with him in it, I think he was doing like some kung fu or martial arts kicks or whatever it was in the film. I'm like, what in the hell am I watching? I want to talk about something too, because some celebrities do not like you taking pictures of them at their table. Okay. And speaking of Cabin Fever, not Felissa Rose, but Serena Vincent. She's another Italian actress or Italian descent. She does not like being filmed at her table when she's signing. It's weird. It really is, because when you go for your Q&As at those conventions, your question and answer panel, you're getting filmed anyway, and you're going to be on YouTube anyway. It doesn't really matter. But I went up there. My interaction was so with her, and I went up there, met her. This was quite a few years ago. This was at Flashback Weekend, I believe. When I met Serena Vincent, she was really thrilled that I told her I was there for Q&A, and she thanked me and stuff, which was really nice. because she talked about a movie that she did, and I did see it. It was a movie where she played this psychotic coworker or office worker, and I mentioned it, and I thought that was a real good movie. After she got done signing my 8x10, it was like she was like, "Okay, we're done here. Move along. You paid me the money. I don't want to talk to you anymore." And I'm like, that was so rude, you know. But she really wasn't that rude, but it was just you can tell she was like, you know, you gave me your money, I signed you the photo, move along, like that. Uh, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna run into some rude celebrities. To meet Serena Vincent again, I would never do it. I would never meet Daniel Harris ever again either. Uh, but yeah, just be ready because you're gonna run into celebrities. And if you're gonna meet if you're a big Friday 13th fan like I am, or a big fan of Tom Savini's work, be prepared because you're gonna get one or two versions of them. The version I got, and I tried to warn my buddy and his brother one year. We can get the quiet version, or we can get the talkative version. And what we got is the quiet version that didn't say much. But he never said much to me either. But he had a smile on his face because I think the reason why is because I had the Friday the 13th part 1 shirt on. You know, it had some of his kills on the shirt. I think he really liked that a lot. I mean, at least I got a smile out of him. That's the good thing, you know. My buddy was, was like, he didn't say nothing to us. I says, I knew what we were going to get ourselves into with meeting him. You know, I've heard two different stories, but yeah, I think my best friend's brother tried talking to him and he didn't really say much. Well, I mean, I've heard stories too that I guess Tom's shy. I don't know how true any of that is. Again, too, I've heard stories that, it's all about the money, it's all about the money, but it is what it is. But there's some celebrities like Hitler Lion Camp, real sweet person, another one I thought was really, really nice is, God, who the hell was that I met? She wasn't a big name. It was Tracy Savage, and was really, really sweet. That was another one that was really nice. But yeah. So that was my experience last night. I'm waiting to see who they're gonna get, who the full lineup's gonna be once we get to the March show. The full lineup, I'm pretty sure we'll see a big roster. Pretty sure for Days of Dead March in February. Because honestly, that's not too far away because we're already almost out of November. So you got November, December, January, February. So basically, you got 3 months until the next Days of the Dead here, because it's going to be Days of the Dead and All Monsters Attack, which is Days of the Dead's sub convention, but they're combining it this year. It's going to be at a different hotel this year next year as well. But yeah, it's 2 for the price of 1, so I can get into both conventions because it's 2 conventions, 1 price, so it's gonna be great. Days of Dead, it's gonna be in Chicago again. It comes to Chicago twice a year, once in the spring and once in the winter or the fall. It's a traveling convention. They go to Chicago, I think Las Vegas, Atlanta. I could be wrong about Las Vegas. LA, Indianapolis. And Indianapolis is right next to me. So, I live in Illinois. So, Kelly Hughes is supposed to be at that one too. So hopefully she doesn't cancel out there, because I'm really keeping my fingers crossed on her. Flashback Weekend, their Flashback Weekend, they are exclusive to Chicago only. Nightmare Weekend, I believe, is going to be a mainstay to Chicago now. It is run by Galsicon. I still got the program guide from last May where we went, and so far they have not said anything about them about guests for their May show next year, but they are coming back for May 8th through the 10th next year. Hopefully that is true, because their turnout for last year was great. They had a great turnout with people and stuff, and it was just fun. I'm hoping we get some good guests for that as well. You just never know what kind of guests we can get. We might get some more Friday the 13th guests. So I think it's I know it's Days of the Dead. I don't know if it's Days of the Dead Atlanta, but they got Bonnie Hellman from the final chapter. She is the hitchhiker, the one that eats the banana, the one that holds the sign up, and then she flips around and says F you on it, and she flicks off the kids in the station wagon, and you can see Teddy hanging out the back and doing this and stuff like that. I'd love to meet her, because I'll tell you what I would have signed. I don't got a poster for part 4, believe it or not, but I do have this waxwork vinyl cover, which I will have this signed by anybody from part 4. I met somebody from part 4. It was Tom Savini, because Tom Savini also worked on this one as well. But I would definitely have this signed and just put it on the little stand here and display it right here in the entertainment room. So, yeah. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd meet like 2 of the cast members from part 8, and the other one will be in March of next year here. Everybody seems to hate on Rennie Wickman. That's the final girl from part 8. That's Jensen Daggett's character, and I've always loved Rennie. She is in my top 5. So my top 5 Friday the 13th final girls of all time are Jenny from part 2, Chris from part 3, Rennie Wickman from part 8, Rowan from Jason X, and if I had to pick for the 5th one, it's kind of tough because the way you look at different things here and there. Yes, Alice was she is the one that killed Mrs. Voorhees, but she didn't survive the beginning of part 2. She's the only final girl that did not survive. I would probably say maybe Kimberly Beck's Trish Jarvis from final chapter would be in the number 5 spot, I would have to say, because we're talking about the ones that took on Jason. But yeah, I could put Alice as the number 5 slot. But yeah, so I'll tell you what, we'll keep Trish in there. Okay, so my top 5 Friday 13 girls of all time are Jenny from part 2, Chris from part 3, Rennie Wickman from part 8, Rowan from Jason X, and Trish Jarvis from the final chapter. So there we go, guys. I would love to meet Kimberly Beck, by the way. I think she's one of the rare ones. I think the one that's probably the hardest to get for a convention would be Jennifer Cook, who played Megan Garris in part 6. So that would probably be one of the hardest ones to probably get. I'm planning to visit for the first time in Chicago, maybe next year in the summertime. Yeah, you'll be able to meet Bat Rican and Sean Cody for sure. For sure, that'd be great. Definitely meet them. I just, like I said, I just found out that Carla is she's got her own YouTube channel, which you already know. But Carla runs her own channel. It's called The Horror of Horror. I think that's what it's called. Couldn't find out she's actually a year older than I am, which I thought was really nice. I'm talking with a different variety of people here on YouTube. I met a YouTuber last night at Days of the Dead. Does his own channel. He does locations. He's been out to the Crystal Lake tours twice. Once during the daytime on Halloween a couple years ago, and he did the overnight thing, which I thought was really, really cool. He got to sleep in, I think it was the main cabin where they played Strip Monopoly at. I think that's what cabin he was in. But yeah, I've met a couple of YouTubers. I mean, I met Everskade. I can't remember his name offhand. And I met Scotty Boots. He was a YouTuber. I think he still does YouTube. That was years ago when I met him. This was before I started making videos for my channel, and before I didn't know what the hell I was doing with my channel. I don't think the only time I don't think I'll ever meet Sean or Bat Rican. The only time that would actually happen is if I go to one of these conventions on a Saturday. Saturday gets really crowded, congested. Parking is terrible. It's hard to find a parking spot in those damn parking garages. But yeah, hopefully one time I'll be able to meet him one time if I ever go on a Saturday. But I usually like going on Fridays because it's like less busier. And people do go to work and whatnot. But yeah. So yeah, that's it with that. I met only to YouTuber Omar and Adam the Woo. You met Adam the Woo 5 years ago. Wow, he's a pretty interesting character. I did see his one video he did out for Friday 13 Part 3, the filming locations. Of course, the owner of the ranch out there for Part 3, they're going to rebuild the ranch house that was burnt down by idiotic fans that set it on fire. I know that they did. There was a YouTuber online on here that actually went there recently, and the house isn't built yet or reconstructed yet, but they did clear out the man-made lake that they made for that film. So they cleared out the man-made lake. You can see the cement ground, and they built a brand new dock that resembled the original dock, because the original dock was rotted away and everything else. So they did that. So that's as far as they got. And it was almost like 3 years ago when the owner had announced that. And the owner talked about it on Scott on Tape's YouTube channel, when Scott on Tape went out there and did the filming locations for locations out there. So that was really cool to see that. Part 3 I thought was really cool because it was the first one shot. It was the first one that wasn't shot in the Midwest. So you kind of can tell a little bit. There's been many films being shot there. There was one film that was, if I can't remember the name, it was called The Zero Boys. That was with Kelly Maroney, which I did watch. It was actually on Tubi, and I thought it was really cool. They spent the night inside there and stuff, and the inside of the actual main cabin in Part 3, or the Higgins Haven ranch house, looked very different. They remodeled stuff in there and everything else. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Part 3 by far, it has my favorite Jason look without the hockey mask. The original look that they had for him, they did film it. It was the Stan Winston look. You can find pictures of that online. There was an alternative ending where Chris gets out of the canoe, goes up to the Higgins Haven house, opens the door, or Jason opens up the door with the original Stan Winston, makeup prosthetics, and decapitates her head off. But I believe in the final version, which what we got in theater, if you notice when Shelly and Vera come back from the convenience store, when they're passing up the barn, you can see Jason open up the barn door from a distance. I believe you can actually see, I believe that's actually the Stan Winston prosthetics for Jason right there that was still in the film. That much you do get of it. That's what I believe that's what it was, because when you look at him up close in the dream sequence in Part 3, it is the one that replaced. It is the prosthetics that replaced the Stan Winston's original look. So the Stan Winston, I believe the Stan Winston makeup for Jason is still in the film, in that one scene where you see him peering out the barn door from a far distance. So if you guys get a chance to see Part 3, just look at it, pause it, and try looking at pictures, because it kind of like matches up a little bit. So just really cool stuff. Marilyn Poucher, when I met her, it was really cool. Another quick interaction. I told her it's about time. It's nice to meet a Mrs. Voorhees for a change. Of course, Betsy Palmer had passed away back in 2015, and then we lost Paula Shaw, who was Mrs. Voorhees in Freddy versus Jason. So technically, the only Mrs. Voorhees that we got left alive are Marilyn Poucher, the non-visitor who played Mrs. Voorhees in the 2009 remake, and then gosh, what is her name? Linda Cardellini, who's playing Pamela Voorhees in the upcoming Crystal Lake series that's coming on Peacock. So the original Mrs. Voorhees, and then her runner-up, which is Paula Shaw. They're both passed away. But Marilyn Poucher was definitely cool. I wish I could have brought my my actual. I'm looking right up there. It's right up there, right up there. You guys can't see it, but I can see it. It's Aneka. Fully clothed Lady in the Lake, Mrs. Voorhees from part 3. I have up there. That's the character she played. But yeah, actually I got to meet one Mrs. Voorhees already. You know, who knows? Maybe if Linda Cardellini comes to a convention, you know, after I see the Crystal Lake show, maybe meet her as well. You know, the non-visitor, that iteration of Mrs. Voorhees, I didn't really like that much, but it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know what else. We're going for like 40, almost 41 minutes here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get going here. You know, I got up kind of late, slept in. I have a right to sleep in. I mean, I do work Monday through Friday. I got home late, almost went to bed almost at 3 o'clock this morning. So just trying to wind down, trying to get things set up. And that was that. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. You guys have a great one. And it'll be Quicksilver tonight. It'll be a fun time. And take care and have a great rest of your Saturday.